Hmm. We got a little bit of a setback here. Yeah. Ah, basically lost a lot of recorded material. Can't be helped. I have to redo a few things. We're here for two reasons. We need to do a mission for Kaya's Casares and do a Telvanni persuasion mission.
Let's hit it.
On the bright side, so I've already done this once, I know what I want to do now.
Speak, traveler.
I basically finished these two quests and went to Telvas and went to the Zainab camp. Did a few things there.
I'm listening. May I help you?
Nothing all that important, but issue with recording. What I want to do now is I need access to a spell that boosts my attributes. It doesn't have to. I don't give a crap what the spell actually is.
My
Quit
time
laying
long
is
as
outside
it-
precious, so
I
make
haven't
it
much
quick.
time.
How long as it provides that boost. The attribute doesn't matter. Nothing matters as
Is there something
long
I
as
can do for
there
you?
is that boost. A single attribute. What I'm basically going after is I want to artificially be able to boost temporarily my speechcraft. I don't have a spell that boost speechcraft, but can get a spell to boost personality. And I noticed when I had to do more of those silver tongue missions, that your personality determines the how they initially view you.
Hello, Outland.
So we can
I suppose
temporarily
I
find a way to upgrade that. We can make the persuasion thing a lot
Come
easier
on,
for
I haven't got all
ourselves.
day, you know.
Any spell that boosts an attribute. Fortify personality. Ooh, is there a cheaper version? Fortify fatigue. Thank you.
tidings and good wishes to you, friend.
Spellmaking. Fortify. Ah, shit.
Small fork on.
Fatigue is not an attribute.
Let's get this over with quickly.
Next. Fortify willpower. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do. Anything cheaper. That'll do. Wisdom. Fortify luck. Well, it doesn't matter at all. Once you get a single fortify attribute spell, you can make a custom spell with any one of those attributes.
What can I do for you,
Is
friend?
there
Greetings.
something you need?
Fortify attribute, yeah. What we want is personality boost. Self. Something in the nature of 50 points. And duration can be very minor, so 3 seconds. Point cost is only 10, so we should be able to cast this. We'll call it Persuade. So initial is 60. We'll have
So
to
much to
get the
remember.
fatigue up.
I
What
suppose
was
I
I
have
thinking?
a moment. What is it?
It's not important immediately. And I actually didn't have that
May
when
I?
I
Go
did
ahead.
the
I'm listening.
convincing, but I made it through with the Telvanni Buck Mask. With just basically the same thing, 45 personality, 40 points for 60 seconds. So I did need that boost, but there are
I'm
other ways
listening.
to achieve it.
Please.
I just think the spell would be more favorable. You can't always rely on spells. I mean, can't rely on potions. Especially potions, they weigh quite a bit. It's much more efficient to have a lot of magical restoration and just have the abilities as major spells. Hazor Zain Zubani. Business. I am Hazor Zain Zubani, Thul. May you bless and be blessed. I do not wish to be rude, but if you have business, speak it, for I am at leisure and would prefer to be alone with my thoughts. I see. You wish to learn of Ashlanders from me. And what is it that you wish to learn? What are their gift-giving customs? Curious question. A gift is a sign of courtesy among strangers, affection among friends. Among strangers, a thoughtful gift is a sign that you are cautious and considerate and aware of the other's wants and needs. Such is particularly useful for traders and travelers. Among friends it is a private thing, subtle, with great risks, for the test of the gift is how well it is tailored to the receiver. A thoughtful gift. Yes, a gift that shows you have taken the care to learn something of the receiver. For example, I love poetry. No stranger could be expected to know this, but a book of poetry given to me by a stranger shows the giver respects me, and has made a special effort to know and please me. But now I have answered your question. I would like some time to myself, if you will excuse me. So basically, we need to buy a poetry book. There are a few options available for us. Hmm. Pleased to meet you, Thul. I'm Codus Galanus, bookseller. Welcome to Alderun. What can I do for you? Azor Zain Subani. Yes, the Ashlander trader, a bibliophile, likes poetry. I have a few such volumes here, I believe. Words of the Wind, Ashland Hymns, and the Five Far Stars around here somewhere. Words of the Wind. We have books to sell, plus the Argonian Maid. Go away. Progress. So this should do it. Words of the Wind. This is a volume of verse collected from Ashlander wise women. May I Shrink to Dust is from the Ahemusa Ashlanders of the Gracelands. May I shrink to dust in your cold wild ways, and may my tongue speak its last hymn to your winds. I pray for the herder that whistles to his guar at play. I pray for the hunter that stalks the white walker. I pray for the wise one that seeks under the hill, and the wife who wishes for one last touch of her dead child's hand. I will not pray for that which I've lost, when my heart springs forth from your soil like a seed, and blossoms anew beneath tomorrow's sun. We'll see how he'll take this. I have no idea if he has variation based on the poetry book he was reading. I'm sure the thought is here that counts. What the fuck is that? It's a Redoran guard inside the wall, actually. Thoughtful gift. This is a gift for me. I'm amazed. A copy of Words of the Wind. Words of the Blessed Mothers. I gratefully accept your gifts. My people have never loved the written word, and I lament their ignorant scorn for such common yet potent magic. I thank you. I honor your courtesy to... You will please me to return your courtesy by answering your questions. What would you wish to know about the Ashlanders and the Nerevarine cult? There's too much to tell about the Ashlanders. Here, take these notes. I've written here what you should know about Ashlanders and the Nerevarine cult. But most of all, if you're visiting a camp, there are things you should know about courtesy and challenges among the Ashlanders. And since you ask about the Nerevarine cult, perhaps you'll be interested in my views of the Ashlanders and foreigners, because a guiding passion of the Nerevarine cult is their hatred of foreigners. A courtesy. Ashlanders may challenge a stranger who enters their yurt without invitation. Customs differ with different tribes, but leave when requested, and you may be forgiven. Be particularly careful about Ashkhans, tribal chiefs, and wise women, tribal seers and counselors. Some are welcoming, some are hostile. Be courteous and leave if requested. If offended, they may attack. When challenged for sport, it is acceptable to decline. When challenged for honor, it is shameful to decline. Honor challenges come from offense given in speech or action, or may represent customary formal challenges of status or ritual. And the Nerevarine cult. They worship the great Ashkan and Hortator, Nerevar, Moon, and Star, who in ages past destroyed the evil godless dwarves and banished the treacherous Degath-Ur and his foul hosts beneath Red Mountain. The cult is of small consequence in Ashlander worship, and only among the Urshilaku do its followers have any influence. Other Ashlanders tribes share the sentiment of the cult, but regard the Nerevarine prophecies with suspicion and skepticism. All Ashlanders in a tribe, young and small, are born into the ancestor cult of their clan. The Nervarine cult is different though. It is a very small cult with only a few wise women with the gift of prophecy and a few holy warrior heroes who guard and protect the seers. Sulmatul, Ashcan of the Ushilaku, is the warrior protector of the cult, and the Nibani Maesa, also of the Ushilaku, is the oracle seer of the cult. The Ushilaku are the Ashlanders of the Northern Ashlands and the Grey West Gash. In the northwest of Vardenfell, Ashcan Sulmatul is their chief, a brave and respected war leader and warrior protector of the Nervarine cult. The Ushilaku camp moves with the herds, but usually lies close to the Sea of Ghosts. Now north of the village of Margan on the northern coast of Vardenfell. The Nervarine prophecies. I've heard it said that prophecies foretell the return of a reincarnated Nerevar, who shall drive the foreigners from the Ashlands and who shall cast down the false gods of the temple and restore the true worship of the ancestors. It is a dream that would appeal to every Ashlander, but is thought but a silly ancient legend until more by many Ashlanders, myself included. Ashlanders are the direct descendants of the Aldmeri peoples who followed the prophet Velaf into the lands we now call Morrowind. The Ashlanders retain the modest nomadic life and simple ancestor worship of their forebears, and despise their soft lives and decadent worship of the settled Great House Dunmer cultures. The ways are harsh and unforgiving, and we are a hard people. But there is a beauty and honor in our simple lives, and the snobs of the temple and great houses are fools to dismiss us as crude savages. Most Ashlanders wish all foreigners and their false gods could be driven from Morrowind. At very least, Ashlanders wish the foreign devils would leave them in peace. Ashlanders think it's shameful to attack unarmed persons, but they will kill without hesitation an armed person who offends them or their clan laws. No Ashlander is fool enough to make war against the Empire. However, if such a war might be won, many Ashlanders might cheerfully give their lives to win such a war. It also repeats a lot of the subject we already talked about. Oh. Yeah. Just repeating what we already know.
Hurry this up, will you?
So now that's finished. We can focus on the Telvanni and convincing the council members. We need to convince at least 3 of them to support our cause, and we need to start with one of them. We were given a tip who it was. Yeah, entire city inside a gigantic mushroom. Yeah, Sarethi Manor is something where we need to start with. Persuasion, where is it? I don't think we really need persuasion against this, but Sarethi is the one most open-minded, so this is
Let's
where
hear
we
it.
start. I'm Ethin Sarethi, a counselor of House Redoran. What can I do for you? Mage's Guild Monopoly. Do not trust you. I don't even like you. Why would I listen to you, Tilvani? Then 42. 67. Yes, I see your point. The Mages Guild monopoly is unfair. I will support this resolution to overturn the Mage Guild monopoly. Perhaps you could convince the other councillors with an appeal to fairness. The only councillor who would never support this resolution is Archmaster Bolven Venim. He is a strong leader and has done great things for House Redoran. How can I explain the hold he has over the hearts of the Redoran people? He brought us back from certain defeat. He moved the council here to Bardenfell and took our share of the frontier lands. He is a natural leader, born to rule. One only wishes he was just and fair as well as strong. He appealed to fairness. You may be able to convince the other councillors if you use an appeal to fairness. House Redoran does not approve of all that House Silvani does, but we are proud of our record of just and fair dealings with the other great houses. The other councillors may be easier to persuade if you take this approach. So our personality went to 94 and it helped quite a bit. We didn't have to even try to persuade him, and if we had, we would probably had much more success anyway. That's one down. We need two more. Why is this house Redoran? Okay, Mages Guild Monopoly. I must get at least 3 of them to agree to revoke the... There's one down.
Let's hear it.
That's not. Ramoran Manor. Not who we are looking for. You could probably loot quite a bit of stuff from this place. Even the clothes are worth something. Expensive or exquisite clothing. Extravagant shirt, extravagant belt. Weapons, armor pieces.
Come on, I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you.
Not enough magic.
Come on, I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you. Probably nothing.
Feel the fairness. Your words have convinced me, though it is rare that I agree with a Talbani proposal. I will agree to this. Yes, I agree that the Mages Guild monopoly is unfair, and I will support this resolution. So, this isn't much of a
I've got better things to do.
mission at this point. We just need to find one more council member and we're done.
Come on, I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you.
Okay, Remoran and Sariti are ours. I'd like to visit the local alchemists. Always need to keep our eyes open. We restore Magicka. Ah, crap, we have a ton of these. What's our alchemy? 59, that's quite a lot.
Come on, I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you.
I've got better things to do, so if you don't mind, let's move this along.
Private quarters. Let's see if we need to boost at all. Feel the fairness. You have shown that you understand us, though I will support this resolution. I'm so convincing. I sort of mixed feelings about this game, and I think some of the quests I'm doing now here sort of highlights that. Ignoring the fact that this game is terrible at the start, it is properly terrible new player experience. It has gone up from that quite a bit. We are still suffering with the movement speed that it should be faster, just to reduce the time you need to do to walk around from point A to B. But ignoring all that, there's a lot of good about this game world and the lore they're building. Everything seems to make sense here. My gripes are about game mechanic gripes. There is a weakness though.
I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you.
But this is... the gameplay doesn't really support all that's going on. Here I'm supposed to be convincing people to vote our way in a council resolution, but and there's a but. What am I actually doing
Speak,
to
traveler.
do that?
Come on, I haven't got all day to stand around and talk to you.
I basically persuaded one guy, which included me pushing a button and picking an option, pushing a button, picking an option. I didn't actually converse with the guy at all. I just it might have been just push that persuasion button until the value rises, then pick one dialogue option, and that was it. There was no
Speak, traveler.
convincing or dialogue there really. Dialogue, really, the back and forth thing. It's just me picking out options from a list. There's no good game mechanics supporting this. After I got the one convincing, I got the option to that allows me to stop having to convince anyone anymore. Now I can just go to these guys, pick that one dialogue option, and
Okay,
it's an
Outlander,
automatic
but make it
victory
quick.
at that. Hey, appeal to fairness. Yeah. In the course of event, it is sometimes necessary to put aside the childish notion of allies and enemies, and focus instead on a debate which propositions are considered based only upon their merits. This indeed is one of those times. You have defended your position well, answering all of my concerns. I therefore shall support the revocation of the Mages Guild monopoly, lest history look upon my actions with a baleful eye and claim that I allowed expediency to overwhelm principle. Yeah, this guy sounds like he's talking to a history book instead of a person, but this is sort of the problem.
Let's hear it.
The ideas behind a lot of these things I do are fine, and I'm honestly amazed how many missions there are in the Telvanni group. I've probably done a dozen or so already. A lot of them were simple fetch quests, but still, there's a ton of them. A ton of things to do, and they all make sense. You start with little chores, you climb up to more important tasks. Solutions to those problems presented are fairly straightforward, and if you've been sort of preparing yourself in advance to cure diseases, cure blight diseases, things like that, you don't even have to do anything extra. You can just directly go to the site, cast a spell on target, and that's it. It makes perfect logical sense, and it makes the game work feel like it's an actual game work that's alive. Sometimes, if you have all the tools in your toolbox already, things are much simpler for you. If you're not prepared, you might have to take extra steps. But where I feel the game stumbles is that, yeah, we can't persuade Benim, no point even trying, is that what I'm actually doing in these quests is I'm not doing at all. I'm basically rolling dice constantly. Do I succeed in the persuasion? I don't persuade, I roll a dice. Do I hit the... I don't really fight against monsters with hits and parries and spell casting, and where we can really feel the battle going. I'll push a button and the dice get rolls. Did I hit or not? If the enemy hits me, a dice get rolls. Am I going to block with my shield or am I not going to block? So it's constant dice rolling, and it's very unengaging. It fights against all that the people who build this wonderful game world. The game mechanics are constantly fighting against it, preventing you from really getting into it by the
May you
constant
find
dice
me
rolling.
worthy of your attention.
You have convinced at least 3 counselors. This deserves a reward. Perhaps you could use this glove. I enchanted it myself many years ago. Arian's Dominator has been added. Named it yourself, did you? What does it do? Command creature, command humanoid. Seems like a fairly powerful abilities. Anyway. This game seemed like a lot of the people who wrote this and designed this did an excellent job. People who designed the mechanics behind what the player actually do this fucked up badly. It's sort of like a badly lit role-playing, pen and paper role-playing game where you have a dungeon master that's totally clueless about leading a campaign. So what he does is he rolls the dice at everything. No matter what you do, you climb a ladder, he rolls the dice. Ooh, it's like there's a goddamn chance someone couldn't climb a ladder. I forgot to ask for a future job.
So good to see.
Well, hello there.
But you get
A
the
pleasure to
idea.
meet you.
Some things just leave the dice out of it. If it's a simple task anyone can do, just have people succeed in that. Or
I see this land suits you.
if you're gonna have
We
a dice
welcome you
roll,
freely,
have it
Hamlet.
affect something else in it. So even if you fail, what it doesn't mean that you can't do it, it means you just you wasted a little more time, for example, achieving the same thing. So it's not like a binary result, you can or you can't. It's more of a everyone can. Some people just can do it better than others, or can achieve something extra because they're so good at it. Something like that. Yeah, job. There's another Tilbani in trouble. I do not normally interfere with these matters, but I have taken an interest in this one. I need someone to stop the Redoran attack on Febes Andes in Shishi. Several Redoran have infiltrated Shishi, and the Telvanni Fabes Andes has gone into hiding. Shishi is a Velothi tower in the middle of Feda Banidad, northwest of Margan. Leave Margan, go east to the Stillstrider, then follow the Foida north and west. If you cannot find Fabes Andes, look for a skull on a desk, which opens a door to a secret storage space. I'm not going to do that now. We have a Telvanni quest to a Weimer site here, and we have a reason to go to Zynap camp too. So I'll do those next. But yeah. I've heard people really say that in some ways Bethesda has gone downhill with the later editions of their games, and I sort of can see that because this game world is very well and logically built, very meticulously, very detailed. I like it quite a lot, but I'd say that claim might even be true. I haven't time to think about it that too much, not in detail, but I feel I can be more immersed in a game like Skyrim anyway, because the actual gameplay supports that. Supports the immersion instead of taking you out of it. The gameplay mechanics here may constantly remind you that you're just playing a game, you're playing a game, you're playing a game, you're playing a game. Someone's constantly
There is
checking
someone
stats
watching me, I
and
can
doing
tell.
dice rolls and checking percentages behind your back. Because you're constantly reminded, every time you pull a dagger and try to hit a target. And you're clearly hit, but you're not hitting, not even remotely. You can miss 1,000 times if you're fatigued. it constantly takes you out of it. So they might have built a better game world with this game, but the immersion still sucks compared to the later versions. It's just...
What was
well, I
that?
couldn't say it sucks.
Well,
the
hello
overall
there. A
effect
pleasure to meet you.
suffers, let's put it that way.
So,
But that was... but I'm not sure which is better. Because something like this can be fixed with a mod. You can take away some of the feeling. You can change the combat system in a way that every hit is a hit, but it works in a different way. You can alter the movement speed thing. These are things that are moddable without too much effort. But if the game work doesn't really make sense, if the logic isn't there, if the details aren't there by the game makers, that's quite a hard thing to start to place in by just modding. Because you basically would have to invent total new lore from nothing, based on nothing. On the other hand, game mechanics are something everyone can change to their liking, and it doesn't detract from the intended immersion experience or how the game world should work. So I don't know. I don't know. I still think I still like this game, but there's a big but. Sometimes they're good in video games, not so much. On the bright side, we're past the worst. We already have enough skills and attributes that we can make it, and if we want to use some really low level skill, we can buy it. We can afford to buy it to some decent level right from the start. So we're past the worst, but we're still suffering from the low speed travel. That's my biggest gripe, even at this point. This is it. This is the maximum speed we can get at this. What the fudge was that? Just out of curiosity, that's a fairly close target that all the way there, or opening, and from this point, closing that short distance, it's about a 10-second trip just to reach somewhere right up there. So I can't really express how tedious it already makes a tedious traveling. Naturally you can run, but you'll just suck at fighting if you do so. I don't like this. I think once we're done with this visited design up camp, I'll put some money in training athletics, buying the training. This is never going to get too high with just us walking around. We walk for probably 10 hours, 20 hours, but something like that. And it's not even at 30 at this point. I think we started like 5 maybe. So, and it'll probably slow down as it gains levels, so we're looking at probably at least 80 hours more before it'll get to a higher level. Probably more time than I'll be playing this game overall, so I'll be spending money on that. Maybe get it to closer to 40. Maybe get some more speed. Try to get both to 50. So we could finally at least mitigate the speed problem. I really, really consider it a problem. It's the one thing I would really want to change about this game. At least at this point. Earlier game I would like to change a lot of other things, but now when we have money we can work past those problems. We can't really work past the speed thing. Unless we find a miraculous item that significantly modifies our speed and athletics, we need to take matters into our own hands and try to fix it, at least mitigate the issue as much as we can. So that's the plan. This shouldn't take too long. Zainab camp is just us talking to them, trying to find out what trade goods they want, then teleporting back to Telvas. There's a Dreamer ruin here where we need to get some schematic from. Again, probably not too much of an issue. So we'll worry about that next time though.